Hi there, and welcome to our Beyond Threats podcast by Bleckmann. I'm your host, Erik Janssen Steenberg, and I'm thrilled to have you here again today. In each episode of Behind Threats, we take a deep dive into development, innovations, and all the trends in logistics and supply chain management. I'm joined today by Kevin Paindeville, Bleckmann's very own Director of Warehouse Solutions and Innovations.
Thanks for having me, Erik. Great to be here.
Well, thank you for being here because today's topic is robotics in warehousing and logistics. So I'm going to need your support.
Let's do this.
Kevin, to start things off, can you give us a brief introduction about who you are, what you do at Bleckmann, and top it off by what robotics means for Bleckmann and for our entire sector as a whole?
Yeah, sure. So as you mentioned, my name is Kevin and I'm responsible for Bleckmann for innovation and warehouse solution design, meaning to define the process within the four walls of the warehouses. I'm working since 15 years in the sector, looking at technology and streamline processes. To come back to your question, robot in logistics can have various shape, form factor. Mm-hmm. You can have AMR or AGV. AMR stands for Autonomous Mobile Robot. AGV, Automated Guided Vehicles. These are the robots driving and moving pallet of goods from A to B, for example. That's one form factor. You have robots able to pick item. You have robots able to pack item, to create a carton around a group of items that needs to be shipped to a consumer, for example. You have drones able to take a cycle count in your case racking. You have various of type of robotics in the logistics.
Correct.
You asked me about Bleckmann. What do we use? We do have a few type of robots. To be honest, all of our rails are not fully automated.
No,
we are not
course
there yet. But we start early. It was even before my time at Bleckmann that Bleckmann started with the robotics. So we do use some. We do have some in production. We do have some in what we call UAT, in testing phase. Testing phase, and we did implement some and stop. It's part of innovation, and you try something, you try to validate the assumption, and you come to a conclusion that not that.
Yeah,
not
you
that
win
good.
some, you lose some.
No, I will not say that. You win some, you learn some. So
even better. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So we do have some application, but I guess we'll deep dive into those one now. So
Yeah, thank you. Specifically, the portion where you mentioned that not all of our locations are 100% automated. I, as a BD manager, when I tour customers through our buildings, indeed, I get the same remarks. Why is this not automated? Why is this? And then I find it very hard to explain them or to convince them that robotics isn't always necessary and isn't always a tool that will better the outcome. Yeah. Is there anything that you can mention on pointers for customers or for other members of the audience on how to determine if robotics is needed or not?
Yeah, you're perfectly right. Let's make things clear. I like robot, I love robot, would like to see robot everywhere, but if there is no point, if there is no business case, we'll not do that. We are, like I said, pragmatic, and we analyze. If we focus on a certain process, we analyze it and we say, okay, what are the various alternative way to do the same process? Is it an alternative manual way? Is it something in a robot with a conveyor, with a packing machine, depending on the process? Then we compare them. We compare those and we do business case, and then we see what the number says. We'll not spend money just for the sake of spending money. So very important. When you want to look into automation, is define the scope, because you can go very broad. Define the scope, find where you can do the most of savings, take some assumption, let's validate the assumption, do that in a control environment where you can kind of prove a concept. You can lease a robot or do some trial with some supplier.
Yeah.
Let's validate the assumption and then do the business case in detail and check if there is a business case. One of the challenge for Bleckmann, which is a 3PL, it's most of the time the length of the contract. You sign a contract with a new customer, you sign for, let's say, 4 or 5 years contract, 3, 4, 5 years contract. The first year, everybody look if what we forecasted in the contract
is materializing.
It's materializing in reality.
Yeah.
And if we say, okay, it's materialized, then now we can think about how we can automate, make some change, optimize, and then you need to find a business case before the end of the contract, or you need to start discussing about an eventual renewal of the contract. But it's not that easy.
No, and yeah, even though I also sometimes feel like robotics is more becoming a buzzword than an actual tool in your tool chest, but sometimes no is the right answer. And by saying no, you can look at your processes and people and products even differently, instead of trying to build the best tool to cope with it.
And you name it, a robot, it's a tool. It's one of the tool you have to do your job. It's not the only one. It's not the goal to have a robot.
No,
not at all.
No, I agree. So you have built more than a few business cases. You have tested an extensive range of those tools, robotics. And we have implemented and put live in a production operation a certain amount of those robot solutions. Can you explain how using those robots has improved our operational efficiency, accuracy, capabilities, etc.?
Yeah, robots are very good at automate repetitive tasks.
Yeah,
for example, as a human, you have a certain productivity. The robot will do that faster. If we are speaking about cobots, sometimes it's the same pace, but it don't stop. That's the big difference. That's the big difference. Doesn't mean that we will replace everybody by cobot or robot. Just that if there are repetitive tasks, it's not that always funny to do repetitive tasks. So we can just put robot if there is a business case, of course, and then assign those people who were doing those tasks to other applications, other process where they can add the human added value, like I said. And to come back to your question, and sorry, Erik, I forgot the last part of your question.
How these solutions have improved the processes. So on one hand, they take away the repetitive, maybe tedious jobs without us having to lay off any staff because we keep growing, etc.
Exactly.
But have they also been beneficial for efficiency levels and for accuracy levels, etc.?
Yeah. So we discussed about the repetitive task. Some of them needs to be augmented by vision technology because it's not always the same task and you need to pick somewhere here, somewhere there.
Yeah.
The accuracy level is better and better. And so also by automating some tasks, we gain also in efficiency because everybody do mistake. We are human. It can happen to do some error. A robot will not do that.
No, correct. But then again, a robot will also not solve an issue at hand.
No, but that's why you need always to get a human in the loop. That's a terminology from AI, but having someone able to intervene if the robot is stuck, because the robot will, let's take an example, Erik. The robot needs to take that glass. He will try a few times.
Yeah.
If he didn't succeed, after a few times, you can define a threshold. He will stop and put in standby mode. And then a human will need to intervene to help him, even to teach him how to take it, even to solve. And then, so there are some different ways. It's important also to get a human in the loop and to have those collaboration between the robot and the human.
Well, very good example how we are not at all focusing on cutting out the human factor in our processes. Very good. Okay, and when we look at in terms of metrics and outcomes, yeah, have you seen specific gains in again productivity, cost savings coming from these robots being implemented?
Yeah. Yeah, I will give you one example that we implemented. It was the first one implemented. I don't take the floors because it was implemented before my time in one of our sites in Groningen in Antwerp.
Yeah.
We implemented there with a customer a return zone. You know, if you order, and Erik, I know when you order, you order a lot of different size to be sure that it will match your fit at the moment, and then you will send them back to the warehouse. Typically, when we treat the return, we check if it's sellable, and then we will put it back on what we call the active floor, where the picking will occur. Mm-hmm. But we have mezzanine. So if you need for every piece of article need to walk the stairs, go on the right location and put it back on the right place, you take a lot of time. It costs money.
Yep.
So with the customer, I will say they because I wasn't there, but Bleckmann decided with the customer to set up an area with the robot. Those robots are AGV, able to move a shelf with location,
yep.
Stock position. And those shelves will be brought to a picking station.
Right.
It's also it's a goods to person. It's a version of it's a way of goods to person solution. Yeah. So the picker, the operator doesn't need to walk. The product come to him or to her. Mm-hmm. And then we decided to put that area close by the inbound dock. So when we receive the return, we check them, we validate that they can be sold again. And then we put it directly into that zone.
Yeah.
On the shelf. When you order a new item, we'll first check if that item is available in that area. And if it's there, we'll pick it from there, mm-hmm. and we'll ship it. By implementing that solution, we increase the productivity of that process of 400%. Because it's huge. So you cut all the walking distance up to the second or third level of the mezzanine to put mm-hmm. back the item. Mm-hmm. You put them into a specific location. It's a cage because you can't walk. It's an AGV, so there is no sensor, no captor. You cannot see people walking into that. And that zone is dedicated for the returns.
So if I conclude correctly and understood you correctly, that means that a return is processed automatically, saving on cost, but it's also available much quicker to be sold again.
Yeah, that was the highest requirements for the customer. He wanted to have the product back again on his website as fast as possible. Yeah.
Okay. So that is indeed, two-sided gains. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Well, robots are here to stay. Yeah? They're not going away, and if anything, developments are going faster and faster. Also with AI, with algorithms, etc. When we look in, let's say, 24 months' time, mm-hmm. and maybe 5 years, what is coming? What is beyond the horizon?
Yeah. If I can speak about Holy Grail, mm-hmm. what a lot of suppliers tend to achieve at the moment is the ability to unload truck at the dock. So typically, when you open the truck door mm-hmm. at the warehouse, you have two-way. You have either the carton on pallet, and you take the pallet. That's very easy. But you have also the loose load way, where every carton is put in the truck, a bit like a Tetris, and you see that when you open that, it's very well filled.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of players try to come with automated solution to mm-hmm. be able to unload those with the robot. With suction cup, with conveyor, you have also a mobile robot able to grab those. Yeah. There are different form factor. There are different prices also. These are very high at the moment.
Course. Yeah.
But we see since a couple of months there are a lot of movement into that field. And I think if we wait 6 to 12 months, we'll see a lot of different solutions that will be much cheaper and interesting for us and for all the logistics.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's of course again triggered in due to the pressure on the label market, but also because you want to be the employer of choice.
Exactly.
You don't want people to be
in the truck and moving carton
hurting around
exactly
50 kilos. Yeah.
That's robotic is of course to be more efficient and to be more productive, but also to remove all the repetitive tasks from the scope of tasks for more people, and also paying attention to the back and to well-being of our employee. It's not fun to empty a truck.
No, I can imagine that becomes tedious very quickly. Thank you very much for your insights, Kevin. And if you allow me to conclude, at Bleckmann, we look at robotics in such a way that robots are a tool. They're not the goal.
Exactly.
And they can be very beneficial to your bottom line and to the execution in your warehouse, but only after you have done a very good investigation on the type of product that you need or the type of robots, and of course the business case. Is there enough time? Is there enough need to benefit from the investments made?
Exactly.
Thank you very much for working on robotics for us as well at Bleckmann. And as always, I can talk to you for hours and hours, but maybe we'll do that over a beer. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thank you very much for joining us for this podcast. Stay tuned for the next, and I will see you there. Thank you.